Welcome to Bricks of Norway. Hi there, my name is Paul. As I mentioned to you earlier, I'm going to participate in an exhibition called Kloss 22. And, well, this is the weekend, and as you can see, my wife's car is all filled up with Lego. I'm really looking forward to this. This will be fun, meeting new people and some old friends. And hopefully get some positive feedback on what I've built during the last couple of, for Modern Classic Space it's the last 4 months, but for Classic Space it's for, about a year. Hi there, my name is Paul. Well, it's been a couple of days since my last video, with a quick 8-minute walkthrough of the exhibition called Kloss 22 that I participated in. Displayed my modern classic space and my old classic space. Today, in this video, I thought I would show you some more details about some of the builds that I actually got time to take a closer look at and talk to the designers. In the first clip here, you can see what it looked like before we started filling it up with the displays. I was there early, so I was helping putting up tables and scene elements to be used for displaying the builds. And as you can see here is it's quite large. By Norwegian standards, this is a large Lego exhibition, and there were a lot of people. I think there was a little bit over 2,000 on Saturday, and I guess around the same on Sunday. I haven't heard any numbers for the Sunday, but I feel that there was more people on. Could have been more people on Saturday. It was more crowded, or people were there longer that day. I don't know. A lot of traffic, a lot of people to talk with. So the first one is train layout. I think that most of that was made by 3 guys called Henrik, Anders and Lars. This train layout was made on Mills plates. It was quite large, 2 by 12 or 14 meters, I think. Double track around the layout. Well, a couple of stations with switching areas and 1 turntable. Henrik has built some really nice steam engines that are my favorites here in Norway. The first one, this blue one, is Type 30. Type 30 was produced between 1914 and 1939. It was for Norwegian standards, a quite large steam engine. And it was produced 45 of them. That's a quite large number for the Norwegian railroads. It was used a long period after the Second World War. The last one was taken out of service in 1969. There's one of them preserved, and it's still used on the Norwegian railroads as a museum locomotive. That's number 271. I like this locomotive especially since I have actually had a ride with it. I think Henrik has done a really good job with this locomotive. It runs nice and looks nice. And the second locomotive that Henrik has built that I want to talk about is Type 49, Dovregubben, or the Dovre Giant, as it's called in English. This was a locomotive made to replace Type 30. There was 7 produced before the Second World War, and there was 4 produced later, so a total for 11. And Dovregubben Type 49 is Norwegian's largest steam engine ever used. One of the locomotives, number 470, is still exists, but not in running order, and is displayed at Norwegian Railroad Museum at Hamar. Type 49 Dovregubben was taken out of service in 1957, so the locomotive that it was supposed to replace survived it by 12 years. Type 49 Dovregubben was replaced by a diesel engine, DI3, built by Nohab. based on an EMD F7 engine. It was put into service in 1954. But the funny thing is that the i3 couldn't keep up with the speed of the Type 49 in an incline where the i3 could hold only 39 kilometers. The Type 49 could do 70 kilometers. So it was more efficient and cheaper to run, but it was slower. Henrik also has the i3. I didn't see it running on the layout, and it was displayed in one of the train sheds. The di3 is still running in Norway, even though it's been running for soon 70 years. But it's not used in regular traffic anymore, but it isn't that many years since they were still in use. But it's only running as an maintenance locomotive. Henrik has also built a nice train station placed on the line where the Type 49 Dovregubben got its name from, Dovrebanen, the Dovre line, and the train station is called Vålåsjø. It's not used anymore, but it was used when Dovregubben was running there. It's a really, really nice station. He has used a lot of time on it, and it's not a simple building. It's a complex building techniques, I think. A lot of masonry bricks, but used on the back side, rotated 90 degrees, standing up. Anders has made a turntable, very, very nice and very good details, with nice locomotives, remote controlled switch points, and the turntable, functioning over turntable. I haven't said that much about what Anders made, except that I really liked it, as I normally do. I know that he started working on some exciting projects that I will really look forward to seeing on the next exhibition. And if he is able to build it as he wants to, it will be fantastic to view on the train layout. Also, I really hope to be able to see those builds later. Doesn't seem like I took any pictures or video of what Lars built. I don't know why. He has built a really nice version of the Heimdal station, also placed like the Dovre line. You can briefly see it in my video here. I didn't take pictures, I don't know why. I didn't talk much to Lars, so I don't know that much about this build. And this nice castle, called Burphill Castle, was built by Christian and Elizabeth. It has a lot of details, as you can see here, and it's very, very nice. And I wasn't able to catch all the details on camera. Some of them are well hidden, but it's a very, very nice. Sadly, I think they have already torn the castle apart to build something new. I would have liked to see the castle more, but I do understand why people have to take things apart. I'm not that good at taking the things apart or letting things go. I'm not that good at selling things or tearing things down to build something else. If I build something that I'm happy with, I'll keep it. And that's why things are piling up. But I really, really like this castle. And this boat is a small build, but I think it's a nice build. Quite detailed and well built. It's built by Bård. And on Saturday he was trying to get some motion on the boat. He had a limited number of parts available on Saturday to make the motions, but I think he did well. I think he would have liked to have more motion, but limited by the parts. And to make it reliable, he has had to make it a bit simpler than I think he wanted to. The next display I want to talk about is made by Are, Well, this is a model of a Sauda Kraftwerk, Sauda power plant that's actually made for the owner of the Sauda power plant. Really nice build, lots of details, large. I don't know how he was able to transport it in the little car he actually had for the weekend. I really like all of the details and the work he has done with it. All the details on the window of the red building with a light aqua color, such a large building. I guess that would have been not that easy to get hold of all the parts, and hopefully he will be able to display this again later. I think it deserves it. The next thing is 3 builds made by Philip, a really nice guy. That was displaying his things just next to my old classic space. We talked quite a lot during the exhibition, since we were placed next to each other. And 2 of his builds are from a Norwegian adventure series for children made in the 80s. Well, I grew up with this series. I got about 3 brothers. Lots of details. Hopefully we'll make some more. And his 3rd build is a winter scene with a little cottage. Lots of details, lots of pieces to be able to make it look like it's snow. I've studied it and I studied the drawings. It doesn't look that big, but there are a lot of pieces. And I really like this. He has made some other winter displays as well that he didn't bring. He also built quite a few other displays that I would have liked to see, so hopefully we'll bring them next time. It doesn't look that complex, but even this little scene with the display with the canoe, all the flowers and all the details to make it, the field, the green field, lots of job, and very nicely done. A couple of models displayed, which are official Lego sets that drew a lot of attention, was Echo 1 and DeLorean from Back to the Future. These have been built by Petter, and he has included some lights and sound for them, and the lights and sound drew a lot of attention for the kids, and a lot of grown-ups remember the cars from the movies. Very popular. People like to see things that are having some action inside it with lights and sound and movement. I think I'll try to implement some more of this on my things for the next time. I had some lights on my modern classic space, but I'll try to incorporate with some more lights and perhaps sounds and perhaps action for the next time. There's one more thing I would like to talk about at Kloss 22. This is not part of the official program for Kloss 22, but it's part of what Brikkelauget, the local Norwegian lag, is doing when they're having a display, and Brikkelauget was participating in displaying and participating in arranging this party, the exhibition. When Brikkelauget are having a display, they are having a mandatory task that a mandatory build that everyone has to make and display. And this year's mandatory task was to build something you could bring and to eat, like a buffet, something. I don't think everyone knew about the mandatory task this time, but there were quite some entries, and it was hard. I really had a hard time making my entry. And finally I made a cake colored red and green and with white cream and some gold details. Some of the entries are quite simple, but simple is often the best. And some of them are more advanced, like the lobster. It was fun, but it was hard to make it. Food is not my specialty, or, well, building is not my specialty. But sometimes I have an inspiration and kind of build things. But at this thing, I didn't have any inspiration. It was my daughter that put me on the idea of making a piece of cake. So I thought, okay, I can do a chocolate cake. But I didn't have parts to make a chocolate cake, and light bluish gray. You can't make that much food out of light bluish gray. And the only colored parts I had available was light bluish gray and blue. But I finally found some pieces that could be used for a piece of cake. But it wasn't a piece of cake to make. I think this was all for today. I'll try to make a video about my own display, the space. Hopefully it won't take that long until that video will be released. But for now, thank you for liking and subscribing. Enjoy!